Hello and welcome to another video from UFOs and conspiracyinfo.com. My name is Jamie and I want to talk about a rumour that's been going around the internet. I've noticed it on some forums and some websites, even here on YouTube, that in June 2015, this summer, NASA has announced that in June there will be a solar storm and there'll be like lots of debris and particles um, near the Earth. It's going to block out the sun, and there's going to be 6 days of complete darkness on the Earth. Okay, so I heard about this and I thought, wow, that's going to be crazy. If that happens, there's going to be major implications because although NASA announced, and well, they didn't. I'm going to get into that in a minute. But although, like, supposedly NASA had announced this was going to happen, and to stay calm and that it would be no big deal and everything would be fine, I thought, well, people are going to go crazy, and the general public, I don't think, can handle such an event because they would be confused, they'd be panicking, and there'd probably be disorder. And so I thought, goodness me. So I thought, wow, what's going on here? So the website I read it on, it was apparently announced by NASA themselves that this was to be taking place in just a couple of months from now. Actually, no, less than that, 1 month. Okay, so I thought, well, hang on a minute, I want to hear this from the horse's mouth. I'm going to go check out NASA, or I'm going to find out somewhere some kind of an official NASA statement that says this. Well, of course, I couldn't find one. NASA said no such thing, and so I looked into it a bit more, and I googled it, and it was just really, trying hard to find out if this was true or not. Well, anyway, it turned out that this is not the first time. These rumours have been sparked before. In fact, last year, 2014, the same thing, worded exactly the same way. The whole thing described very similarly. There was supposed to be 6 days of darkness, and it was to be in December. I think the 23rd to the 26th. And of course, it didn't happen. But again, it was stated that NASA made an official announcement to say that this was to take place. Well, I thought, well, who's getting confused? Well, what's the confusion here? Or are people like intentionally misleading? Well, there was a video by NASA, and it was all about. It was from someone, I forget who it was, but some guy in NASA that's quite I don't know, he's got quite a lofty position, and he did do a video, and it was all about preparedness and about being prepared and being sensible and blah 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 for any eventuality. And there was no mention of planetary alignment or you know um, the Earth being cast into 6 days of darkness. There was nothing. However, people have taken that video and said, okay, he said these things due to this going to happen, and NASA say this is going to. Well, it's nonsense. There's been no such statement from NASA, and it just amazes me that people would make stuff up. Now, what happens is someone makes this up. Eventually, it's being passed around and shared, and some of these things go viral. And then people, in good faith, they share this knowledge, they share this news, in good faith that it was as it is. So they would think, well, hey, NASA said this. Wow, and then share it. They don't look into it. But yeah, I mean, if someone says NASA said something, then I'm thinking, okay, I'm not going to poo-poo it, but let me go see and hear it from them. And it doesn't take much. You've only got to like Google it, and what you do is you look for, in your search results, you look for a website that has NASA in it and a .gov. The official NASA is always a .gov. There might be like different variations after the / or whatever, because they've got obviously a lot of pages. They've got a big website, a big web presence. But you're looking for a .gov, or you can click on something that talks about something that NASA says or whatever they're doing. But then look for the source of that information, and it should always, if NASA are saying something, it should lead back to them eventually. there'd be like a link to a source that maybe doesn't have it, and then they should have a source, and they should have it. It would eventually go back to NASA, and there isn't anything, and I'm really shocked. So if you've found my video because you've searched about 6 Days of Darkness coming this summer, and you're checking it out, I'm hoping that you found my video, and I've put no links in my description. There's nothing I want to link you to, but what I want to urge you to do is to do your own Google search, and be sensible about it. Search, check out the information. If I've missed something, if NASA have said it plain as day, then let me know. But yeah, but don't be alarmed. It's not going to happen. If it happens, it's a coincidence. It's not because NASA warned us. And let's face it, if something was to happen like that, unless they were going to use the event to usher in the New World Order, to create disorder, to create a problem reaction solution, and to kind of gather people up, and all this kind of thing, which is possible. I believe that there's that kind of agenda that's trying to come about. However, unless that was the case, it wouldn't be a rumor. It would be all over the mainstream news, because the governments would be like thinking, okay, we've got to keep order, so let's psychologically prepare everyone, let them know it's okay, let's really campaign this big time so that when it happens, it passes along and everyone's expecting it. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, if you find anything that is substantial, that that this is going to take place, let me know.